If you need any Xbox or PlayStation codes or any cheap PC games, use the referral link in the description. It will take you over to g2a.com. They already have a discount on most of their goods, and if you use the code CHES at checkout, you can get yourself an extra 3% off as well. Hey guys, how's it going? Chez back again, and welcome to episode number 14 of the Wolfsburg Career Mode here on FIFA 16. We start with some training. We did actually have a game scheduled for the beginning of this episode, in between these two training sessions, but for some reason it got postponed till the end of January, which doesn't make any sense, really, considering there's supposed to be a winter break in Germany. So we've got two training sessions before we actually get going with any actual gameplay in today's video. Obviously, with it being Monday, there'll be a scout report as well at the end. But I'll actually show you the layout of January when we get post-Hamburger, so you can actually see what the situation is as we head into the January transfer window. At the end of the episode, I will be asking you for some transfer feedback, but wait until the end of the episode before you actually leave your comments in the section down below, because there are a few things that we need to discuss before you leave any suggestions down below. But we're starting at home against Hamburg. Obviously, not had the best of time of things in real life over the past couple of years. They do have enough quality in their squad, though, to play a lot better than they have been. And they're actually having a decent season in this series. They sat solidly mid-table and are actually not that far away from the European spots, or at least the Europa League spots. They've got, obviously, Ivica Olic up top, as you can see, a very, very experienced striker, which is kind of respectable code for... he's quite old, actually. He's like 35, 36 years old now, I think, Ivica Olic, but he is still a very good goal scorer, so we are going to have to keep an eye on him. But we're trying to play a little bit more patiently than we have been in previous games to ensure that we can get a victory here. We haven't picked up the results that we wanted from the past episode or two, and we'll be hoping to pick up all 3 points here. I tried to play this immediately to Verinia on the edge of the box, and despite aiming it straight at him, it still played it towards the near post, which is frustrating, but never mind. But we'll try and get ourselves in front if we possibly can. They're having a throw-in, though, here. Steiber is going to get it to Götz, who's actually going to get it back to Steiber to whip the ball in. And, well, we mentioned Ivica Olic is still a very good goal scorer, and he proves it right there. He absolutely dominated the defender at the near post. So you can see him there on the edge of the 6-yard box. The defender is in the best position, and Olic just leans on him, or maybe even gives him a little bit of a nudge in the back, and Niklas Searle just cannot cope with it. The strength of Olic is too much. He loses his balance, actually falls to the floor, Niklas Searle, after Olic has headed the ball into the back of the net. So that's a disappointing way to go 1-0 down. There's not really too much I can do when trying to attack the ball like that. You know, the position of the player was fantastic, was in the right position. I was attacking the ball, but he stumbled because Olic put a hand in his back. There's nothing I can do against that, unfortunately. I just perhaps need a better defender. Niklas Searle is 80 rated now, but maybe he is still not good enough to be able to keep clean sheet after clean sheet. Although we have had, well, we do still have the best defensive record in the league so far. So it's just been very, very frustrating when situations like that arise, where, you know, you do everything right, and then because the player you're using isn't physical enough, you can't actually keep the ball out the back of the net. But never mind, we're playing patiently in the snow. Again, so many games in the snow right now, unfortunately, in Germany in the Bundesliga, but we'll try and get ourselves back on level terms if we can. Rodriguez gets tackled, but he does get it to Schürrle. And how is that for a cross? And then the header on the end of it is just as good. Similar goal to Hamburg's, actually, to be completely honest. Although this was more of a fantastic leap from the midfielder, Tolisso, rather than a mistake from the defender. But still, gorgeous cross from Schürrle. Brilliant header from Tolisso in the midfield. We made a change, took Verinia off the right-hand side of midfield and brought on the Italian Manolo Gabbiadini. Not featured too heavily for us since coming in the summer, but I'm hoping that he can actually have an impact for us here. You can see him on the ball immediately. Julian Draxler played in by him. He's actually going to get it back to the Italian here, and it is a really strong strike with his left foot. He's got a lot of shot power in that left peg, Gabbiadini, but unfortunately the goalkeeper Drobny was on hand to make a very good save towards his top right hand corner, and that was all she wrote for that particular game. Unfortunately, the weather conditions just aren't lending themselves to good gameplay right now. We've played so many games in the snow the past 2 or 3 episodes, but after losing a couple of the most recent games, I was pleased that we were able able to fight back, and as Brendan Rodgers would say, show some character to get ourselves back into the game, get a point and push for a win. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get it, but as you saw there, the January transfer window is pretty bare when it comes to games to play. We've played on the 3rd or 4th of the month, and nothing to play now until the end of the month when we've got 2 games in the final week. So we've got about 11 million to spend right now. But with this squad report, rather than just go through the game or through the list by position on the starting lineup, I've switched it so you can see we're going by position rather than formation, shall I say. And I want you guys to point out to me where you think we're weakest, where you think I should improve, and what positions you think I should improve in, and most crucially, which players should we move on and who should we bring in. Now, see, you've got players like Dante that are recently brought into the club, but I'm not sure Dante's what we need at the back. I like Nicholas Searle. Obviously, he hadn't made a mistake there against Olic, but that's the sort of player that I want to bring into the club, or I'm hoping to bring into the club. Players that are young enough to show some real growth, but already good enough to be able to do a job in the first team straight off the bat. So we're going to be looking for youngsters that are kind of 75 to 80 rated. That's the plan. But what positions shall I try and strengthen in? Obviously, we brought in centre mids. We brought in a striker in Fekir, although he can play out wide as well. We brought in Manolo Gabbiadini, who can play anywhere across the forward midfield 3, or again up top as a striker. So I'm not really overly fussed about the strengthening up top, although, to be completely honest, when we have a look at the league table, you'll be able to see, yes, we have the best defensive record in the league right now. We also have one of the worst offensive records in the league right now. We're up in 4th position, but we've only scored 15 goals in 17 games, which is not good enough. So I'm not sure what to do with the striking positions. Max Kruse has been underwhelming so far, but is a new signing at Wolfsburg, so I don't necessarily want to move him on. We've brought in Nabil Fekir. He played well on the odd occasion, but hasn't necessarily banged in the goals we were hoping that he would. And obviously my other striking option being Nicholas Bentner. He's not going to be prolific, so I'm going to, again, try and move Nicholas Bentner on in this transfer window. I'm thinking about moving Dante on, mainly because there's a big chunk of money there, 10 million plus to move on. I know we're saying we're not going to move Cruiser on because he's a new signing, and I wouldn't have moved Dante on as well, but I need to move someone on, and Dante is aging. Yes, he's improving slightly, but he's aging. He's not playing that regularly for me, and he's one of my most valuable players. So if I can move him on and have about 20 million to 25 million to spend, then surely that would be favourable. But I am definitely going to take your guys' suggestions into effect for this January transfer window. So let me know in the comments section down below, what positions should I improve? Who should we move on? Who should we bring in? And hopefully we can get enough business done in this window to give us the impetus to push forward in this second half of the season. After a strong start, we've let our form peter out leading up to this winter break. Maybe the winter break is exactly what we needed, just to give everybody a rest, come back refreshed at the end of January, push into February, continue on with the European football. We're out of the Deutsche Pokal now, so we can concentrate on Europe, we can concentrate on the league, and hopefully be successful in both areas. But that's going to bring today's episode to a close, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Drop the video a like if you enjoyed, of course, and subscribe if you haven't already. There was a Chelsea episode uploaded earlier on this afternoon. Of course, check the social media links in the description down below as well, and follow me on all of those, and I'll be streaming over on Twitch tonight also. But for now, I'll see you next time.